Hello folks, welcome to HFC's Clarity Lab podcast. Here we discuss about human development and mindset. What if I tell you guys that I have a tool, a technique where if you use that, you can remind and remember anything you have read. So consider you take a book, say, let us say The Wisdom and Teachings of Stephen R. Conway. So say example, most of the times when we read a book, we become so engaged and we focus on completing any book. And once it is done, we realize that we don't retain most of the information, whatever we have read. So this technique, this method, what I'm going to share with you now, when you apply that, you will have a note, where you would have written some key points, and the total information of what you have read will be retained. So that technique, and before going to that technique, we'll see what the conventional way of learning would look like. So I won't know most of you guys. What I used to do as a kid is I will just sit and I'll go through the book and I'll sit and think and read again until I'm so done with the everything, and I'll be like sitting and wondering what. Most of the time, even though when I'm reading, I have remembered that I will just drift around, then coming back and putting really more effort into memorizing and trying to make some sense out of everything. That's what I have done. I would sit for like huge amount of time sitting, trying to read as much as possible. But after going through this technique, I have realized that there are better ways to learn. So this technique is called as Pomodoro Technique. Okay, I if most of the people would have known about it, that's amazing. But I think here you can also gain more insights. Okay, so what happens? Why the conventional learning fails is, when we sit for prolonged period of time. Okay, a huge block of time, say example 2 hours. The first part is called as primacy and the last portion is called as recency. The saddest truth is, if we sit for like 22 hours, the first 20% and the last 20% could be retained. That's how our brain works, but the middle part will get, lost. Okay, that depends on a person's conditioning, but this applies for most other people. And no matter how much we have learned in the first 30 minutes, 20% of the learning would be forgotten, and 75% of the information which we have learned will be forgotten in the first 90 minutes. So the goal to overcome this is makes sense, because we have to, the point of learning everything is to retain the information and apply it in in demanding situations, right? So Pomodoro makes complete sense, because when it comes to Pomodoro technique, what happens, the structure of learning is there will be a 25 minutes of time interval. So you can even see here, I think if it zooms, it will be 26 minutes, but the method goes with 25 minutes of dedicated focused effort of studying and 5 minutes of break. Okay, in the 5 minutes I will just sit down and write down what all things I remember. But the point here, what happens is we create more primacy and recency. So say example, when we go to a social event, the probability of us remembering the first few people we met and the last few people remembering their names would be so much higher than the people we met in between. So the goal here is to create more primacy and recency. Okay, so in 25 minutes, we are so focused on what we are going to study, and we are 100% committed to that, and we hit it hard. And we have gone through all the information. And I would always recommend you guys to just not sit and think, oh, I have to complete 20 papers in 10 minutes or 25 minutes or 50 pages in 25 minutes. You don't study like that. Be genuinely curious of what you are going to learn, and before going in, just forget everything what you think that you know about the subject earlier. Just go and approach it with the beginner's mindset. That's a Japanese philosophy, I think. That's why the kids learns faster. They just go in and they know that they're open slate, and they are ready to get the information what they can reach and read. So like that, like going with the beginner's mindset and genuinely interested in what subject we are going to read. Or if you don't have any interest in the subject, there is no point of going in. I would always recommend you to pursue what creates interest in you, creates genuine curiosity in you. Pursue that subject and fields. So sitting down and being genuinely curious about what the thing is about, what the book is about, and spending 25 minutes fully focusing on concentrating on that only thing. And at the once 25 minutes time is over, beep beep beep, then you say, like, you turn off the alarm, you just switch back to taking a note and a pen, and just genuinely remember, try to recall what all information you have gone through and write it down. It doesn't mean like, oh, is, was, and everything should be exactly written in the note. It's not like that. It's about genuine, what the concept is about, where we are going to apply it, what is these kind of things, what all things that you made, you got it out of that time spent reading. You just genuinely recall it and write it down. This is the most effective way to learn. I'm sure that I apply this technique nowadays, and it's amazing, because whatever information I'm reading, its retention is so high. And there is also another one technique where this is to retain and remember all the information what you have read from the material. And there is another one technique to prevent prevent the information from fading off. Maybe I'll share it with you in the upcoming videos. And the people who wants to who is studying right now, especially the school kids and the college students, or any adults who want to improvise their career development or something like that, try to apply Pomodoros and split your studying time as Pomodoro. So I think I'm going to spend like 2 to 3 Pomodoros focusing on only this subject, instead of just sitting down and wondering about Disney World and everything, just being a drifter. I would recommend you to stay away from that at any cost. Use Pomodoros, 2 to 3 Pomodoros every day towards a specific goal will take you a lot closer to the goal than spending countless time sitting in front of the book, like pretending to read, and study to convince the parents. That's what I used to do. I'm sure that that's what most of the kids and college people would used to do in order to get away from their scolding. They will just sit and pretend that they're reading some nonsense. But I would tell you guys, okay, study, work hard, but make sure that remember that your whatever studying or effort you are putting towards you are putting in, that it will be compounded, and that the one who is going to reap the benefits is you. Just remember that, and improvise yourself and take ownership of your life. And I would strongly recommend you guys to read the book named Limitless. Yeah, it's here. It's written by Jim Quick. And get the physical copy and read a lot. Read a lot. Focus a lot on this book, because this teaches you about how to learn. I mean, that makes sense. This should be one of the basic books that everyone should have learned. If you didn't go through that till now, just do that. Okay, stay strong. Fortis at Liber. Great contents like this will be on your way. And after, if you have watched till this, I would want you to share what technique you use for learning in the comment section. Stay strong. Fortis at.